Charlotte needs him to back up Kenny Anderson, particularly when playoff time gets here. Charlotte's in that 8th spot. Underway, Shaquille O'Neal over Matt Geiger. Orlando 2-0, and of course Matt Geiger will have his hands full defending Shaquille O'Neal, and we'll be watching for the inside fouls all game long.
And you know, Bob, that's even more difficult because Larry Johnson was double teaming him, so they don't want Shaq to have his day in the low post, and so they're going to double team him, and he still scores on the double team, and that's a bad sign for the Charlotte defense.
When Rice throws it away, said he was fouled by Nick Anderson at the time. 2-0 Orlando. Orlando's 30-0 at home, 14-15, however, on the road. Charlotte has lost their last 3. They lost 3 out of 4. Charlotte's been on the road. Horace Grant. O'Neal over behind Geiger, took that rebound. Now he's going to pound it inside, but he traveled.
I don't know about that. That didn't look like... Shaq is angry. I don't blame him. That looked like a good drop step, power move dunk. You know, you watch on this replay, as Shaq goes, he just is bigger and stronger than Geiger, but Rice can't go after the ball aggressively. We think if the shooting is going to be hurt, but you can see he's trying to strip the ball with one hand, and that's a good move by Shaq.
That's that sore right wrist for Glenn Rice. Let's see how it works here. Flat shot, obviously a little problem with him. He's not a flat jump shooter. 2-0 Orlando. Anderson, 3. This team can rain them on you.
Well, Nick Anderson has a lot more to his game than the three-point line, but because of the great inside play of Shaq and Penny, he's had to become a better three-point shooter, and more of his offense is directed in that direction.
Speaking of good shooters, good scorers, Del Curry, the dribble around the curl to the free throw line, and the first 2 points of the night for Charlotte. 5-2 Orlando.
And believe it or not, Del Curry scares Brian Hill more than any other player. He's had some great shooting games against Orlando.
There's the quick double team. The open man this time, Horace Grant. And Horace, as we all know from his Chicago days, really developed an excellent 18-foot jumper. Kenny Anderson from New Jersey, fitting in here at the point guard. Larry Johnson over Horace Grant. Always a good matchup with Johnson and Horace Grant.
Well, Horace is going to try to play him one-on-one. Because of Rice and Curry's great outside shooting, they're going to have to try to play Larry Johnson one-on-one with Horace Grant.
There's the double team on Shaq. The jump hook goes down. Shaquille has 4, Magic 9-4.
As Kevin McHale used to say, Bob, when they double team you and you score, you should get 4 points. Had 2 guys on him the first 2 times, and it's like the double team's not even there. He's just turning and shooting right over him.
Every time you say Kevin McHale when you played with him in Boston, I think Black Hole, like you nicknamed him, and that's Del Curry who has 4.
He earned it, that nickname. We didn't give it to him.
Well, I'm going to bring it up later. He had a good line he told you about the reason he was the Black Hole. Double team, Grant reversing it. Anderson for 3. Horace Grant got the rebound, wanted the foul. Anderson doing what he does best, and that's running. Geiger, offensive foul. Nick Anderson took the tough charge under the hoop. (17-14) Charlotte. Just under 6 minutes to go, first period. Horace Grant. Somebody will have to get to him. That's an old story. He can shoot the shot. He has 8.
Well, you know, the problem is do you rotate to him and leave Dennis Scott open, or do you let Horace Grant shoot? Or do you let Shaq play one-on-one in the close?
Yeah, how about this?
Win.
They're worse perimeter shooters, Horace Grant, on the side Shaquille. You know, after you double team down low, they leave him open, and he's not that bad.
Right, at least he's only shooting 2s, where Scott and Anderson could kill you with 3s.
That's Nick Anderson's first personal. You mentioned Nick Anderson as Johnson goes back to the line again. Nick's playing with a sore shoulder, and he was questionable for this ball game. How about this for Nick Anderson? You talk about the fact that he's a good player. Nick is 2nd on the team in steals, 3rd in rebounding, 3rd in assists, 4th in scoring, and 5th in blocks. You mentioned he's versatile.
He's a very versatile player, and he's a lot better player than people give him credit for. I was trying to think of better shooting guards in the NBA, and I could only think of 4 in Jordan, Miller, Richmond, and Jimmy Jackson. I think are 4 shooting guards better than Nick Anderson. So Nick Anderson is a complete basketball player.
Yeah, I might debate Jimmy Jackson with you. Would you let me debate that?
I'll let you debate it. You'd lose, but I'd let you debate it.
I think, well, then I won't. Hornets lead it by 3. 5:24 to go in the period. Dennis Scott, defended by Rice. Dennis Scott, as soon as I saw Nick Anderson make that move, I thought, that's not Dennis Scott. Nick Anderson, it's a one-point game. That was the quickest I ever saw Dennis go to his left hand into the hole. Larry Johnson has 11 points. Make it 13. He's on fire.
Well, again, that was set up. They're trapping the pick and roll. They want to stop Anderson's penetration. The rotation to the power forwards and the big guys is a little bit slow on Orlando's part.
Now they're posting Horace Grant against Larry Johnson. Cutting to the hoop. Penny Hardaway. Parrish strips it away. And we get the foul on Robert Parrish. Ball from out near midcourt, drawing some moves. Tied at 27. Pick and roll with Bogues and Johnson. Muggsy left open. His own rebound. Oh, yes. I'll tell you again, in case any of you've been on Mars, he's 5'3".
Well, Zeke did a good job of screening contact off the boards, allowing Muggsy to get all the way to the basket on that play.
Horace Grant's feeling that jumper. He took it there with somebody in his face. Dennis Scott says, like this, Horace.
Well, Dennis has been quiet. They haven't been rotating off him, but there's a loose ball. Keeps that streak alive.
Yeah, it's his first points and first 3 of them. Magic have the lead back again, 30-29, 1:41 to go in the period. Muggsy low. Going to go right back to this well again. Behind the back! That would have been a beautiful assist. Here's Hardaway, has to beat Rice. Scott, pull up. 3! Dennis Scott had 8 last night, 2 tonight in a row.
Well, and 17 of his last 18 shots are threes, and you can see Penny is looking for him. Looking for him all the way for that three-pointer coming down on the break.
Magic back by 4 now with 1:11 to go in the period. Raphael Addison gets it over to Rice. Here's Muggsy. They leave him alone. Did Hardaway get a piece of that on the way up?
I don't think so. I think Muggsy just pulled the string on him. That's the Achilles heel. There he looks for Dennis Scott again.
Scott gives it up to Anderson, who drains the 3. Larry Johnson knocks that one down, and Larry has 17 points.
Well, he's been a monster in the low post. They're trying to handle him one-on-one until Muggsy got in the game, and then they started double-teaming him.
Larry Johnson got his hands on the ball, knocked it out of bounds. It'll belong to Brian Shaw and the Orlando Magic. Don't mess with Grandmama. Shaquille back in the game against Geiger. Geiger with 2 fouls. Dennis Scott. I don't know when I remember a three-point shooter, not include you in this, with some really great three-point shooters in the NBA, who've been as at ease as Dennis Scott has been in the last 8 or 10 games.
The guy shoots about 250 a day, he told me today. And he just shoots that ball so easy. He's so strong. And he shoots, like we said, the last 18 now out of 19 shots have been 3. So that's a major focus of his game. And when he gets hot, there's nobody better.
Steal by Darren Hancock, playing with the blue. Bogues dishes Geiger. Dennis Scott steals that one. Grant, Shaquille against Muggsy Bogues. Oh, goodness sakes alive.
Muggsy thought about fouling him and grabbing him, but I think he would have felt like a gnat.
Muggsy thought about blocking it.
Muggsy sees Shaq coming down there. That's a good defensive strip by Dennis Scott.
(59-48) Orlando. 2 minutes to go until halftime. Hardaway's all right, apparently. Nick Anderson, bang, hits the 3. 62-48. That matches the biggest lead.
You know, Orlando's statistics don't even tell the whole story the way they've been playing. They've been ahead of teams. They were ahead of Philly last night. They were ahead of Portland. by 30 points going into the fourth quarter. Teams creep back down the stretch, but they've been blowing teams out.
Glenn Rice must have loosened his wrist up a bit. That's the first Charlotte three-pointer of the night. Orlando 6 of 9 from downtown. 1:19 to go in the half. Posting Hardaway, open man Anderson. Rice will run it down, has Myers open, but Horace Grant came in there and took the ball away. Careless ball handling by the Hornets.
Well, Rice thought Muggsy was going to get it. Muggsy thought Rice was going to get it. So they both threw it back into Penny.
Hardaway with 15 points. Rice missing this time. Rice only 2 of 7 tonight. Did get the 3 a moment ago. Shaquille against Zedek. Zedek fouls him before the shot, I think. Here's Muggsy on the run. Charlotte with numbers. Oh, Larry getting it back that way. 8 minutes. Shaquille rattles the rim, the shot clock, the roof, the scoreboard. My fillings.
Well, Muggsy put Larry in a tough situation. He thought he was going to charge, but trying to get the ball back to Muggsy. What's Muggsy going to do if he does catch the ball back from Johnson?
O'Neal's second dunk. 12 points for Shaquille, who's just kind of cruising thus far in this game, and that's all he has to do. 4-second differential in the shot game clock. Glenn Rice had to give it up. Good defense there played by Hardaway. Zedek with the rebound and the putback. 13-point Orlando lead. That would have counted and would have made a lot of highlight reels, but it missed.
Swiss roll? Nope. Butter roll? Never. Finger roll? All day, baby. The super smooth statement made by NBA ballers who don't want to flex too hard to show their skills. The key is all in the wrist. The bigger the flick, the better the spin. As you glide to the hole, you let the ball roll out the palm of your hands, off your fingers, and over into the rim with sweetness. Just like my man Scottie Pippen, Dr. J, and of course the master of the finger roll, George Iceman Gervin.
Well, it's the Orlando Magic 66, the Charlotte Hornets 53, and it looks as if the Hornets are in danger of disappearing, Dave.
Glenn Rice needs to get hot, though, in the second half. Have a chance. Brad hasn't given up. I'm not giving up, man. No way.
Well, if Dave believes and the crowd believe, then you've got to believe. I don't think so, but let's go back to the game.
Pete Myers got down inside, had it rejected again. Anderson from Dennis Scott. Dennis Scott's assisted Nick on 2 of his 4 3-pointers here tonight.
Well,
Dennis has 4
you know,
assists.
Nick has that bad shoulder, and if they do find something in the MRI they're due on his shoulder tomorrow, they might want to hide it. Let him keep playing because he's having a good game. Looks like it's not bothering his shooting at all.
Inside to Larry Johnson. That was a nice dish from Glenn Rice. A couple of usual scorers with assists back-to-back there, and it's Orlando by 11. Yeah, this 5 on the floor for Orlando, I agree with you. You got to, maybe Chicago's defense makes up, but offensively, this is certainly the best 5 starting in the NBA. I agree with you. Anderson.
Well, you may have the best point guard, one of the top few centers in the game, who will eventually be the best center in the league. You have an all-star power forward with 3 championship rings. We've already said Nick Anderson, in my mind, is the 5th best. You think he's the 4th best 2-guard. And Dennis Scott, one of the best perimeter shooters to complement all that in the game.
At the moment, the best perimeter shooter. Knocked out of bounds by Geiger, 9 on the shot clock. Ask him if he thought the point guard at Georgia Tech, Stephon Marbury, was going to come out after his freshman year. He said he better not, he's too little. Shaquille throws it hard off Matt. Everybody's kind of been waiting for some fireworks. You remember that Geiger hacked Shaquille in preseason, aiding him in breaking that thumb, but so far is nothing near the kind. They were, I don't know if they are now, but they were hangout buddies a little bit in Miami. Horace Grant beat the buzzer.
I mean, that is terrible defense. There's 1 second on the shot clock, taking the ball out of bounds, and you let the guy catch the ball and get a good look at a jumper. I just don't understand that.
Orlando by 11. Kenny Anderson, a good stutter move inside to Matt Geiger. Geiger's come out here in this 3rd quarter and scored 6 points.
Boy, if Kenny Anderson had some really good offensive players around him, he's a deciding player in the open court.
Ow. What's that, the 3rd dunk for Shaq? We only count his dunks, 14 points, 3 dunks.
He's closing in on 100. I think that's his 95th dunk on the year out of about 380 baskets, so a high percentage of dunks.
You keep that stack? You keep that stat?
Oh, I read that stat.
Hardaway on the break. Whoa, wave it off, offensive foul. Pete Myers paid the price and got the reward.
Now Penny's smiling. He doesn't believe that. He thought that Myers was too far underneath the basket.
Oh,
that's close. That's
yeah.
close. I think he is too far. You're supposed to be at least out to the block, out to the college lane, at least to accept that charge.
I think it confuses the official with all that crisscross stuff in the lane there. What do you think?
The nest?
Whatever that is. Is that what that is?
The hive?
The yellow brick road?
That's the beehive.
Okay.
The Hornets hive.
Here's Geiger. Grant went for the steal. Geiger misses the jam. Oh, mercy. 11-point Orlando lead. Lob into Shaquille, who was posted against Kenny Anderson. Hardaway fumbles it, but Horace Grant's there to follow it.
Well, I'm still waiting for the Hornets to try to have the magic in the half court shoot a contested shot. But it's difficult when you're outmatched and you have to double at every single position.
Inside to Larry Johnson. Tough play for Larry. Missed the turnaround over Horace Grant. Orlando just toying with Charlotte at the moment, up by 13, halfway through the 3rd quarter. Hardaway gives up the 3. Shot clock to 9. Anderson against Myers. He pulls up for the 3.
Well, at least it was a contested shot. That's the best defense they played, the toughest shot. You got to tip your hat when Nick Anderson can hit a shot like that.
Biggest lead of the game, 16. Addison defending Dennis Scott. Shaquille singled, now the double. It was actually, that was a 1.5.
I was going to say the same thing. You send Muggsy Bogues down to double team Shaq. He didn't even know he was there. That doesn't make any sense.
Biggest lead of the game by 16, 11:32 remaining. Del Curry, he's had a few streaks of offense here tonight. Been quiet for a while. Had to move him out of the game. Look at that long-range bomb.
Shot clock was down. He had no choice. He had to get the shot off. Their offense is a little bit out of sync, that possession.
And Charlotte lives on offense. They average only 0.2 of a point a game less offensively than Orlando. But not tonight. 8 on the shot clock. Dennis Scott.
Well, see, that's exactly what Charlotte coaching staff right now is saying not to do. If you're going to double down, you don't leave Dennis Scott. Let Horace Grant shoot, let Anthony Bowie shoot, let Brian Shaw shoot, but don't let Dennis Scott shoot the open shot.
It's the 9th triple for Orlando in this game. They've taken 17. Dennis Scott has 12 points, all 4 threes. Bogues misses. Shaquille rebounds. Shaquille has just really had a cruise tonight. He's not been necessary. They went to him early on the double team. They could see easily Charlotte couldn't really defend or rotate on the double, and since then it's been mostly Orlando, and this is the biggest lead of the game, 97-76. 119-96 Orlando. Minute and a half to go. Anderson has 8 triples. Dennis Scott had 8 last night. Remember, Orlando played last night in Philadelphia.
Now,
but they haven't had to play much here tonight.
Now, that was only a 2 right there. That was a college 3.
All right,
we got mixed up by the lines there, I think.
Okay, I think so. 7 threes for Nick tonight.
I think Nick is glad that he decided to play tonight, though.
Horace Grant, Penny Hardaway. Penny, you can already see the left eye there. Penny just on the other side of his very handsome classical nose there.
As long as there's no permanent damage, then
we're concerned about that commercial career.
Penny will be okay.
Yeah, he's looking all right. You see the little mouse right there? Look at that. Wow.
Yeah.
Ow. Thank you, Robert Parrish. That came earlier in the third quarter. Robert's left a few of those varying bodies around the NBA in his years.
Yeah, Robert got Bill Lambier with a couple intentional mouse.
Yeah. Brooks Thompson in the ball game. David Vaughn trying to post up. Missing the jam. He'll have to live with that at Philly practice tomorrow. Back down to David Vaughn. Vaughn, the rookie from Memphis. 18 merciful seconds remaining here. Charlotte Hornets will now have lost 4 in a row. They lost 3 out of 4 on the road. We're very happy to get back home here. However, they're not going to be happy with this situation. 6 of their next 7 for Charlotte will be here in the Hive, but unless they play better than this, they're going to continue to struggle. They're just getting destroyed on the boards in their 4 losses, and it happened here again tonight, and they gave up 123 points to Orlando while scoring only 97, and you see the look of a very worried coach with not many answers.
Well, it's the Orlando Magic 123 and the Charlotte Hornets 97. And I must say, the fat lady was singing in my ear for most of that game.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a fat lip, man. I saw the Hornets were a little off. There's always next week. I'm going to start a streak then.
Oh, yeah, right. Let's go over to the locker rooms.
Fortunately for us, we were very lucky to be playing Orlando tonight. I mean, you know, the way we played tonight, there could have been other teams in the league beating us. Orlando's a very good team, and you know, losing to them, you know, maybe it's somewhat acceptable.
What do you think the key was behind the victory?
Well, I think defense started off, and then we started knocking down outside jump shots. Once this team that I'm on starts making jump shots on teams, it's tough to beat us. You know, we're running the basketball and playing tough defense, and it's hard to beat us.
Who were the guys who really hurt you tonight on Orlando?
Well, you know, they all played pretty good. Shaq played pretty good. Most of the guys, you know, they have a lot of guys on their team that can really hurt you. And I think that they did a whole team effort tonight.
How big was this game in the scheme of the whole season?
It wasn't, you know, we're trying to get on the right track here. We lost 4 in a row. Any game is big right now, so we can get a win and change the morale of the team. We really got to concentrate defensively and get it together.
This is the best starting 5 in the NBA.
Well, we have to prove it. I mean, Chicago's playing well, Seattle's playing well, we're playing well behind those guys, Utah. And we feel we have the best 5, but we have to put it all together and take it all the way. I mean, we don't want to be thought as the best 5 and never win anything. I mean, that'll be an injustice to us.
Into Barrows, gets the shot away.
You have just seen as exciting and as unpredictable a finish as you're going to see in an NBA game.
The rebound is up. The shot is taken by the Braves. Block for the Lakers. The ball rolls free. Magic wants it. Magic got it. Randall scores!
Tipped to the ball by Pierce. Sends it ahead to Garrett. Too far ahead. He saves it. He'll lay it in. Oh, you gotta love that action. Good. Golly, Miss Dolly. What a save by Pate between the wickets. 7 minutes left. Larry Bird follows his own shot. Oh, what a play. Great passing. Baby. Holy cow. And Scottie Pippen just went over to tell Spike Lee a few things also. Because as Pippen dunked, this was an elevation. Miller for three, and he got it. Reggie Miller with a clutch tray, and it's 105-102. And a steal. Miller retreats to the three-point line and hits again. Kemp all over that rebound like a bad suit. Out of backcourt, he comes out of the blocks on fire. Oh, raging right-handed tomahawk jam from the Rain Man.
We're about to take you on a musical journey. Are you ready? Let's ride. Oops. It's been a while.
Yo, Grant. I heard you kind of nice on the keyboard. What's up with that?
I went on Letterman last year and played a song. Now everyone thinks I'm a pianist. I always bring my music with me on the road. I bring all kinds of music, and this really helps me relax. Gets my mind a little off the game.
Yo, Grant, what kind of music do you bounce to, bro?
I like everything. I like every kind of music. I even listen to some classical music.
Classical music? Oh, no.
I think jazz music probably best describes my game. It's got a certain smoothness to it. I like to think of myself as being kind of smooth out there in the court.
The big showdown in the West saw Magic Johnson back to his old form for the Lakers at home to Houston.
Magic with a spectacular move.
But it was Sam Cassell that stole the limelight with a brilliant performance that won the game for the Rockets.
Cassell hits it!
Overshadowed by Magic's shock announcement that he doesn't want to play for Dream Team 3 in this year's Olympics.
This gives those guys an opportunity to play. And I can sit back and enjoy them playing.
The lob for Barkley.
Charles Barkley was the bright light as Phoenix burned Dallas. He scored a game-high 26 points despite spending most of the game on the bench with foul trouble. Sir Charles reserved his sharpest attack for the referees.
I can see y'all through his hands. The game was a game, but you had another game going with the officials. What happened? Well, I thought two of them were terrible. I don't care if they fired me. Two of them were terrible, just did a good job.
Detroit's Grant Hill, the queen mother of basketball, showed he can play hoops better than the piano with a triple-double against Atlanta. That's double figures in points, assists, and rebounds. The Pistons are on a roll. You can see them next week on NBA Raw. The tallest man in basketball, 7'7" giant George Muresan, shot wide into victory over the toothless Grizzlies. He says he's still hopeful of landing a part in the next Bond movie. Those Supersonics had to go the extra mile to maintain the record 14-game winning streak.
Schrempf for three, he drained it.
German star Detlef Schrempf was the savior as Seattle put the Fighting Cavaliers to the sword in double overtime. No such battling in Gotham, as the Knicks were caught with the pants down against the LA Clippers.
3-on-1 behind the back for Rogers.
Clips are a bit of a joke team. Even Billy Crystal supports them.
There are very few of us. We tend to travel in packs. Last year we led the league in triple doubles, which meant there were 3 couples in the stands.
But the Jokers are New York as they tumble from playoff contention.
There have been some bad losses for the Knicks this season at home, but this, I think, will be the benchmark for big.
Note your boys from the Windy City. For Scotty! The Bulls beat Milwaukee. Jordan scored lots of points.
Whoa!
Dennis Rodman was ejected. Same old story. Utah were lucky to catch Reggie Miller on a bad night. Karl Malone came up trumps for the Jazz as the Pacers ground to a halt in Mormon land. Oh no! Without the Rain Man Sean Kemp, the Sonics finally get jet lag and lose at Washington. It's their first defeat to the Bullets in 7 years. The NBA's register is ringing again. Charles Barkley is fined $7,500 for calling Sunday's referees terrible. Sir Charles said, "The officials took all my aggression away." Yeah, right. MJ has had many great days, and this was one of them. Troy came to town, then Michael went to town. He beat them on his own.
The lot for Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen. Michael to the fade. There it is, 51!
Scored 53 points, the highest by any player this season.
My situation was that everybody else couldn't make a jump shot, so I always relied upon to, take a little bit more shots, and I was hitting my shots quite naturally. And when that happens, as I've said in the past with other players and with myself, when you're in a rhythm like that, you want to do everything you can to carry the load, and if you're hot, they keep coming to you, and you keep knocking them down.
The headlines might have belonged to Magic Johnson. He lorded it over Sacramento. First, he traded buzzer beaters with Michael Smith.
On top to Michael Smith. He has to throw up a prayer, and he gets it! Oh, my! That's a three-pointer! Michael Smith with an Olin Polonese look. Here's Johnson for three to answer. He answers at the horn.
Then he became only the second player in history to make 10,000 assists.
There it is. That's 10,000 assists in a career for Earvin Magic Johnson.
Remember that laughable New York defeat against the Clips? Well, the Knicks owners didn't see the funny side. They fired Coach Don Nelson.
The main reason we made this change was because we didn't feel like the team was responding for whatever reason. And we felt like we needed to go in a new direction. And we also felt like the team needed to play up to its capabilities.
Apparently, he didn't get on with star John Starks. Hey, guys, nobody gets on with John Starks. It got better in the evening. The Knicks went to Philly, and guess what? They were deep six by the worst team in basketball. Time to get on the bat phone.
Stackhouse to celebrate.
John Stockton may look like a bank manager, but he's why the Jazz are hot on the court. If he's not making the assists, he's scoring himself.
Stockton drives all the way and off balance, throw it up. Here it goes, it's good. Incredible shot by John Stockton.
The Lake Show stormed into the Arizona desert and seized the win in Phoenix. The Suns never came out to play. LA gunslinger Cedric Sabalas grabbed himself 23 points. That's shot by the wily Nick the Quick Van Exel.
David Robinson, 1995 NBA MVP.
Last season, David Robinson won the coveted title as most valuable player. The race for this year's award is hotting up on and off the court. angry at being snubbed for the MVP award at the All-Star game, says no way he'll win. His size counts against him. Outside bets off. Call the mailman Malone. He's kind of owed something. And Scottie Pippen, a man destined to remain a bridesmaid as long as his airness is still around.
Oh, Pippen!
Looks like another title for Michael Jordan. Orlando's running away and hiding in the Atlantic. They're still undefeated at home, have won 6 games in a row. The Knicks, they're in messy seconds. Still no change in the Central. The Bulls have won 6 straight and can't wait for the playoffs to start. The Pacers are in playoff form, and the Pistons are leaving their impression on the rest of the division. The Spurs are still gunning for the Jazz. San Antonio's won 5 straight, but Utah's done 1 better. The Rockets remain close despite all the injuries. And don't forget the Grizzlies, they've lost 10 in a row. The Sonics remain hot with or without Shawn Kemp. The Lakers have a slim chance of catching Seattle for the divisional crown. Sacramento, who first earlier this season, are battling the Clippers for last place.
Well, everyone's gone home, but let's face it, they went at the start of the 4th quarter anyway. But don't worry, because there's more basketball on Channel 4. On Wednesdays at midnight, it's a game of the week on NBA XXL. On Thursdays at 6, NBA 24/7. Music, movies and style, plus the raging Chicago Bulls at Gotham to face the New York Knicks. Then every Sunday, we're back at 11:15 for NBA Raw. So from Charlotte, say goodnight, Dave.
What's good about it, man?